Italian Boxing Federation. Let's get our first final underway. So this is in the female bantamweight division, and this is Caroline Cruveillayer, the #1 seed from France. Very experienced fighter. One of the fighters who was right on the cusp of the age limit, qualified last year and has been allowed to box this year at 23 years old. Silver medalist at the 2019 Women's Senior World Championships, bronze at the 2019 Euros, so she's got a lot going for her here. But she faces hometown opposition in Giulia LAMAGNA of Italy, the #3 seed, who's had some good wins herself. 2020 Italian elite champion, boxed at those 2019 Euros, so plenty of top-level senior experience and accomplishments for her. And we saw a gold medal won in the earlier session by Giovanna Marchesi of Italy. Final checks for these two. I'm Andy Clark, alongside me Ron McIntosh. Saw some good fights in the earlier session, saw some good fights. Good to see that welterweight decision overturned on appeal. It was the right thing to do. We don't need to dwell on it, but it's nice that the systems work properly. But we saw some good boxing.
Most certainly, plenty of skill, plenty of variety, and so much determination and desire in evidence from these athletes in a bid not just to claim top spot on the podium, but of course, as has been the trend since the Asian Championships that were held in Dubai recently, all of the boxers in action here today competing for cold, hard cash, because bronze medalists came away with a share of the spoils, but for gold medalists here at the championships, not only will they get championship gold, they will get $8,000 US as well. And that's quite an incentive, along with the glory of getting your name into the annals of this particular championship.
Absolutely not to be sniffed at all. 4,000 for silver medalists, 2,000 for bronze medalists. So here we go. Cruveillayer of France in the red, LAMAGNA of Italy in the blue. Cruveillayer boxing out of the southpaw stance, LAMAGNA 2. LAMAGNA can tend to switch a little bit. Good start here from Cruveillayer, who's popped her with that left hand and also with that right hand up close. I've seen both of these two in Ring B over the course of the last few days, and one thing about LAMAGNA is she does stand quite tall with that chin up in the air a bit and can tend to pull out in straight lines, and Cruveillayer is going after her here right from the very beginning, which is interesting to see. Maybe she's seen something in LAMAGNA that she fancies as a weakness, but she's looked aggressive from the beginning. She beat Anna Kunjua of Georgia by unanimous decision in her previous fight. Before that it was Elizabeta Kartashkova of Russia by split decision, all 5 scores 29-28. And she kind of grew into the fight against Kunjua. Didn't make a great start, but after that got to grips with things. And she's gone hunting here from the beginning, looking for that jab. And then there's a right hand on the inside. The referee just warning about putting the shoulder in. LAMAGNA wasn't really ready there, as the referee said box on. And she's maybe been caught a little bit cold here. She is a kind of languid fighter, one of those fighters who doesn't ever look like she's in a particular rush. Uses those feet pretty well, and now beginning to let her own hands go a bit more. Cruveillayer had most of her success in the first 30 seconds or so. Since then she's found it more difficult to catch her opponent clean. She is quite temperamental, LAMAGNA. I noticed that in her semi-final too. She does tend to wear her heart on her sleeve a bit. Left hand there from Cruveillayer didn't quite reach. As we head into the final minute, the Italian just trying to pop that jab. I don't think there's any doubt as to who's winning this round. It's the fighter in red who just finishes with a left to the body there, and again trying to crash that 1-2 down the middle. And she's working at a rate that LAMAGNA is just finding difficult to deal with. She's waiting a bit too long to get her own punches away. Cruveillayer with a cocky little smile on her face there, as the two come up right close and personal as we head into the final 30 seconds. LAMAGNA got past Anna Budimir-Beckan of Germany by a split in her semi. Pretty close fight I thought LAMAGNA deserved to get it, but there wasn't a huge amount in it. And she just pinned on the ropes there, and that is not where she wants to be at all, because CRUVEILLIER just goes up top. Yes, the gloves are up, but then she went down to the body and found that left hand. Well, there goes the end of the first round, and CRUVEILLIER came out really aggressive there and never really let up.
No, she sustained it throughout the course of the 3 minutes. Very good performance indeed. Terrific punch picking. LAMAGNA had her moments, but they were sporadic and short-lived compared to the sustained success of Caroline CRUVEILLIER, and as a result, 2 scorecards of 10-8 in her favor. The 2019 World Championship silver medalist demonstrating her variety there, and particularly effective getting over the front foot, jumped out of the blocks all over LAMAGNA and didn't give her any respite. And not just naked aggression. You saw during that replay the ability to slip. Here's a nice check right hand from LAMAGNA, but overall Caroline CRUVEILLIER in complete control over that first 3 minutes. This woman has got to find something different.
Absolutely, a couple of 10-8s in there. It was that kind of a round where you would say was kind of on the cusp of the 10-8 maybe. I'm not sure I would have gone there myself, but I can understand why the 2 judges that returned that score did so. The way that CRUVEILLIER has come out here again at the start of the second round is exactly the same as the first, and I just wonder whether there's maybe a bit of history between these two somehow, because it's almost like right from the beginning she's just determined to jump on LAMAGNA and just show her who's boss. Show her, you are not on my level. That is what she seems to want to achieve here, and she's achieving it effectively so far. Opening 30 seconds of round 2, got into nice distance and let her hands go, and the referee didn't say break there, and LAMAGNA is kind of trapping the arm of CRUVEILLIER a little bit with that left arm. That's what the referee's gesturing to there, and LAMAGNA's beginning to look a little bit sorry for herself. She just can't really get anything going. And CRUVEILLIER has won that opening minute by an absolute mile. Looking for a big left hand there, CRUVEILLIER didn't quite manage to land it that time. Looking for a sneaky little right on the inside there, LAMAGNA. That was a decent shot. The referee, I think, might take a point here, and he does for holding. And that point has gone from LAMAGNA, so the ship is sailing over the horizon really for her in terms of getting a win in this fight. She's absolutely miles down now. Unless she can turn this second round back in her direction, then come the conclusion of it, she'll be 3 points down with at least 3 of the judges. Combination there on the ropes from LAMAGNA. Just tucking up on the ropes, well, not tucking up, just retreating to the ropes as she is again here, and comes forward with those gloves held a little bit higher. And CRUVEILLIER just setting her feet, banging that left into the body, and there's nothing really coming back from the Italian here. Just working her hands on the inside, manages to find a little uppercut, but there's nothing on it really. There's something wrong with the head guard there, I think. So the French corner just tightening up that chin strap slightly. That's what that was about. LAMAGNA looking out towards the crowd at ringside. CRUVEILLIER missing with that left hand. Interesting that she's done her most effective work right at the beginning of each round. The first 30 seconds in both rounds so far, she's just found the perfect distance and landed a 2, 3, 4 punch combination. She's completely dominated this fight, heading into the final 20 seconds. And again, a long left hand there. LAMAGNA's got those hands down, as I said. She stands quite tall. That chin's a little bit high at times. LAMAGNA this time just thrown to the canvas as we tick away the final few seconds of round 2. And this is quite an unusual one really, because this is a final of a major tournament and it's completely and utterly one-sided, and LAMAGNA, I don't want to be too critical, but she just doesn't really look like she wants to be in there. Very
strange display. You can see her corner coach trying to get something going. Is it the pure skills of CRUVEILLIER? Is it the occasion, the magnitude of competing here at home? Personally, I would have made that a 10-8 round in favor of Criveillier. I thought she was utterly dominant, stamped her authority in the early stages, and really, this was the expression on LAMAGNA's face. It's as though she wanted to be somewhere else. Take into account the 1 point deduction. That's 10-8 effectively for 4 of the 5 judges, plus a 10-7. That portion we just saw on the replay screen, where she was standing up, not really doing a good job of blocking the shots, but absorbing them, catching them to head and body. She's looking very dispirited, rather forlorn. She needs a miracle here in this third and final round.
Absolutely, she needs a knockout, is what she needs. So into the third and final round, Caroline Criveillier of France in the red, Giulia LAMAGNA of Italy, the number 3 seed in the blue, Criveillier the number 1 seed. Haven't had too many number 1 seeds go all the way through. It's been an interesting competition on that score. Criveillier again just moving those feet nicely. Hasn't made the gung-ho start to round 3 that she has to the previous 2, but she knows that she is absolutely out of sight here. The only way she can lose this fight is if she somehow gets disqualified. LAMAGNA backed up to the ropes again there, did at least get her gloves up that time, but the volley of punches came in from Criveillier. I did mention earlier on that she is a heart on the sleeve type of fighter. I could see that in her semi-final. But she's been behind the 8 ball here right from the very beginning, and her confidence has just never grown into the fight. Criveillier just stamped on it right from the very beginning, and maybe she knew. They're familiar with each other, these two. They've been boxing in the same competitions for a good while. Maybe she knew that is the kind of fighter that LAMAGNA is, very much a confidence fighter, and if you get on top of her early on, then you can take it away from her, and that's exactly what has happened. Criveillier has been excellent. We're talking about LAMAGNA's shortcomings, maybe a little bit too much. Reason being that it is a fairly curious performance, but you've always got to give maximum credit to the winner, and that's quality work there, going down to the body and then switching the body shot into an uppercut. But there really isn't anything coming back, so Criveillier is able to do pretty much as she pleases. Very experienced, of course, with that silver in the Women's World Championships in 2019. Senior World Championships coming up later this year. We believe that the women's will be in October sometime. The men's is scheduled for, I think, October the 25th or 26th through to November the 4th or 5th, around about that time. Be interesting to see what happens in both of those post-Olympics. You can see completely new lineups for national federations, or relatively speaking, after fighters turn professional after the Olympic Games, which of course a lot of them do. Right hand there, short right hand from LAMAGNA. Hitting the midway point of round 3. Criveillier just standing off, looking for that jab. She knows she doesn't have to do anything else, really. For the remainder of the fight, she's got this one in the bag, and has had for quite some time. Nice jab, flicks it up from the waist, up jab, straight through the guard. And LAMAGNA just buffeted back into the ropes. Criveillier, confident, just bowling across the ring. That left to the body again there as we head down towards the closing stages. A jab there aimed by LAMAGNA, and Criveillier able to slip that one comfortably. Nice little feint with the front foot there from the Frenchwoman. And this is going to be a gold medal for France. Strong French team, big French team, send over. Just looking to aim that left hand one more time. And she's taken her foot off the gas in this third and final round. Still won the round, that's for sure, but kept something in the tank there, and that's the most comprehensive win we've seen so far today.
Sensational performance by Caroline CRUVEILLIER. From opening bell to last, she simply did not present LAMAGNA with an opportunity to get into the contest. Came steaming out of the blocks in the first round, maintained that dominance and indeed increased it as the round went on. And in the second round, she applied the same tactic. And LAMAGNA just not given any glimmer of an opening to try and showcase her skills. CRUVEILLIER dominating her in practically every department, not presenting any opening. And you can see the body language between the two boxers so demonstrative as we await confirmation of what is going to be a gold medal for France.
Unanimous decision. The winner is red corner.
So there she gets it. I saw her walk into the arena not that long ago, what, an hour and a half ago, something like that, and she looked confident then, to be perfectly honest, and it's turned out to be well and truly justified, because that is a wide margin. 3 rounds to 0. There's a point deduction and some 10-8s in there as well, and those are the most comprehensive judges' scorecards that we've seen